Tonight we bring you the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. The first round, Lincoln comes in ranked number 12 in the state. They play host to Lakeridge. Hi everybody, I'm Shane Downey, joined by my broadcast partner Dave Hall. Dave, the end of this season for these two teams, it was two teams going in very opposite directions. However, for the case of the Lakeridge Pacers, they had some tough opponents at the end of the season.
You know, Lincoln started this season losing 2 games, 85-0. Lakeridge wound up closing the season losing 2 games, 84-6. When you say opposite directions, these teams were in opposite directions. However, I want to point out to you those 2 losses that Lakeridge had at the end of the season were the number 1 ranked Lake Oswego and number 3 ranked West Lynn.
Really tough opponents. One of Lincoln's losses, of course, they started 0-2. One of those losses was against Lake Oswego way back in week 1. They lost 0-40. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, hey, Lakeridge at least got on the board.
Well, if you look at Lincoln's losses to start the season, they're the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the state.
So both these teams have some losses against some really tough opponents. However, for Lincoln, after those 2 losses, they swept their PIL opponents. And quite frankly, most of those games were not close. They had 1 nail-biter against Madison, but the past few weeks, they've been able to beat up on Franklin, Grant, Wilson, and they've taken no prisoners, and they are hoping to continue that winning momentum coming into this week in the first round of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. Doesn't get any better than this, Dave. Last year, Lakeridge did not qualify, whereas Lincoln, this is their 3rd straight PIL championship. They've gotten out of round 1 the past 2 years, and like I said, hoping to do the same again here in 2017.
By the way, for those people that want to know, how did the PIL fare in the power rankings? Lincoln is the highest ranked team in the PIL in the power rankings, but only 2 spots behind them is Grant.
Rightfully so. They did win the PIL championship. There are 5 different PIL teams, in case you're wondering, competing in the state championship. But like Dave said, Lincoln up top with that number 12 seed. Grant actually 13, so literally right behind them. We're just a few moments away from action here on this Friday night. As you can see, dark skies above, the lights are on.
And there's wouldn't you say there's kind of a chill in the air? There
is a bit of a chill. We are in November. It does not appear to be any threat of rain whatsoever. Lincoln will be kicking off in their red and white jerseys. Meanwhile, for Lakeridge, in the blue and white with the gold outline.
You know, Lakeridge is actually Columbia blue and Vegas gold.
You know, I would have never came up with that description, but that is the official description for the Lakeridge Pacer colors. Here's the kick from Harry Son, and we are underway. It's going to be run out from the near hash just outside of the end zone. Now cutting across, it breaks free, has 1 man to beat there. Breaks the tackle, and what a way to start things out for the Lakeridge Pacers, getting it all the way out to near midfield.
You know, the kicker, Harry Son, was out there. He was the last line of defense, and the receiver jumped over him, but there was a Lincoln player who was able to outrun him down at the 50 and save a touchdown.
Despite the fact that Harry Son was not able to make the stop, he did slow down the return man just enough to allow the Lincoln Special Teams unit to make that grab. So here's the first play with 1 man in motion. They hand it off to number 1 of the Pacers. He tries to get to the far side. That's Andre Martinez, but nowhere to go. No gain on the play.
Just to update you, game time temperature at the start, 46.
46 degrees, definitely a little chilly out there. Charlie Maines getting the start at quarterback. The junior, hoping to continue the Pacers season as he awaits the snap. Here it comes, drops back. has a red jersey over the middle. It's caught. Lincoln running back near sideline, and Jordan Hill loses the ball. But Lincoln recovers at the 15-yard line, make it 16, and Jordan Hill playing from that safety position. It looked like that one was thrown right to him.
First turnover of the game goes to Lincoln. Jordan Hill on the interception. The ball was underthrown. Hill was standing right there at about the 35-yard line, picked it off, returned it all the way down. The ball spotted at the 16-yard line.
All right, so Lincoln's offense on the field for the first time with less than a minute off the clock after the turnover. Just underway here in the first round of the playoffs. Here's a handoff running near side for a short gain. Nick Osmo, who's gotten some time off. Been dealing with a little bit of a knee injury the past couple weeks. Didn't really get in on the action last week, but the star of the show as far as keeping things on the ground for the Lincoln offense. And he gets the first carry of the game with Brad Emmons under center running that wing T offense. One receiver on the far side left, one man in motion, that's Elsner. Lots of pointing going on. We see the flag.
Penalty is going to be on the Cardinals.
False start on the offense. Backs them up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 11 after the 5-yard penalty. You hear the Lakeridge cheerleaders trying to keep the visiting crowd pumped up. Crowd still filing in here. Like Dave said, 46 degrees at game time. Here's the snap. Emmons rolling right. Has no one to throw it to. He has some trailers, and he's taken down for the sack. Looked like McGinley in on the tackle from the linebacker position.
So we had Osmo gain 5 yards, 5 yards lost back on the penalty, now 5 yards lost on Emmons on the sack.
3rd and long. Lincoln's offense hasn't been in many 3rd and long situations all year. Emmons has the snap, hands off to Osmo. Osmo nowhere to go. And a 3 and out for the Lincoln offense.
You know, the Pacers, a passing team, come out and throw an interception right off the bat. The Cardinals, a running team, and come out and can't run the ball.
Harry Son in to kick a long field goal. It's going to be about 42 yards. We've seen him try this during the regular season. Don't think he's hit quite this distance. He has the distance this time. Does he have the accuracy? No, it is wide, but you can see the young man, Harry Son, has plenty of leg. Just couldn't quite line it up that time, and it'll be a turnover on downs with 8:50 on the clock and no score.
Wide left. Had that been in the middle, that would have been good from about 45.
Oh, he had the distance for sure. Let's tell you about our friends, longtime sponsors here at Oregon Sports Beat, Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling, clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. So just like that, Lakeridge gets another chance. 1st and 10, Charlie Maines. Here's a handoff going to the outside, and that's going to be a 1st down and more, running up the far sideline. Finally knocked out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line.
15, Charlie Maines on the quarterback keeper for Lakeridge.
Maines keeps it himself and shows that not only can he do it with his right arm, but can do it with his legs as well.
Gain of 15 on the play, and a Lakeridge 1st down. 1st and 10 Pacers from the Lakeridge 35.
1st and 10 up to the 35-yard line. The Pacers going left to right here on their 2nd offensive possession. Still scoreless here in the 1st quarter. Here's the snap to Maines. Hands off, trying to run near hash. Breaks free again, midfield, and tackled by a duo of Lincoln Cardinals. You see number 24 there, Caden Beige Weatherby.
20-yard carry.
Just a junior. And it's funny, Weatherby, one of the few members of the Lakeridge Pacers roster without a position listed. But you can see playing from that running back position on that play.
Right in RB next to his name.
Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. Quarterback keeps it again. He's going to break through that left side. 4, maybe 5 yards for Maines.
You can see that the Pacers have good speed in their backfield.
Perhaps Maines a little gun shy with that arm, giving the interception on his first attempt, but getting the job done on the ground. Receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 split to the far side left. Now 1 man in motion. So they vacate the left side, and it's Maines with the handoff, but nowhere to go that time, maybe a loss.
Beige Weatherby on the carry.
And it's Beige Weatherby yet again with the carry.
Loss of 2 on the carry.
42, Luke Walton for Lincoln.
Luke Walton in on the defense.
On the play brings up 3rd and 6 for the Pacers.
3rd down and 6 to go. Under 7 minutes, a quick pace here so far here in the first quarter. 3rd down. Maines prepared for the snap. Drops back, looking to the left. And is it caught? It was close. Near the ground, looks like incomplete.
Maines pass intended for number 1, Andre Martinez.
Andre Martinez, the intended receiver, in on the coverage for the Lincoln Cardinals. Hunter McKercher Davis.
McKercher Davis for Lincoln.
Maines' first pass was high, was picked off. That one he threw down at the receiver's feet, and just not far enough.
And here's a big sign to see what kind of offense Lakeridge runs. 4th and 6, looks to me they're going for it. Looking to the sideline. Looks like he changes the play at the line of scrimmage, has the snap, rolling right. Has a couple men that way, but he's going to take it himself, and I think he got it. That late surge after the contact. Whether that was designed or not, give a lot of credit to Charlie Maines.
It looked like a quarterback-designed sweep play to the right, but the big point of that play was Maines put his head down and just got in the last 2 yards, which was the first down.
Yeah, he needed every bit of that to get the first down, so a big play, and the Pacers come through to keep their drive alive. Once again, Maines keeps it himself. This time he goes up the middle after faking the handoff to Martinez. And Maines, besides that interception, he's looked really strong here early on.
30 yards on 4 carries for Maines so far.
Just outside the Cardinal 30.
2nd down at about 6 yards. 1 man in motion, that's Martinez. He's looking that way. No, he's going to take it himself, finds a hole, and gets inside the 25-yard line, just right up to the first down marker, and that's going to be enough yet again. So Maines continues to do most of the work himself, and the Lakeridge Pacers are on the move. Whistle for a brief stoppage. All right, we're ready to go. They wind the clock. Lone man in the backfield, that's Beige Weatherby. Receiver on the near side, Xander Hook. And now we have a whistle. Looks like
indication is
delay of game on the offense. We don't have the benefits of a play clock, and neither do the players. But they couldn't get that one off in time. We've seen it a few times, Dave, where Maines looks like he's ready to take the ball and then pauses and looks to the sideline there, and took a little too much time.
You and I have both commented on this in previous games this year. No shot or no play clock, and of course can't see. That time Maines came to the line of scrimmage and the clock just ran out.
Definitely took his time. Three receiver set, drops back, looking to the right. Throws over the middle, has his man. No, it's incomplete. My apologies, intended for number 9, Will Skaden. So correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. I don't believe Charlie Maines has completed a pass thus far.
Yes, he has, but not to any of his players.
Oh, well, okay. You got me there.
0 for 3 with 1 interception.
Maines takes the snap, rolling left, airs it out that way, just out of the reach of Hunter McKercher Davis. That was another one that was near a red jersey.
Exactly. That was a high pass, but thrown in the direction of a Lincoln defender who just couldn't get up and get it. But Maines has not been on target. He's 0 for 4 now.
3rd and 15 from the 28. And you wonder, if they don't convert here, do they attempt a field goal? I made a comment to you, Dave, before the game started. Usually there's 1, maybe 2 kickers on rosters at this level. There's 3 listed for the Lakeridge Pacers. I would assume they have confidence in their field goal unit if they have 3 kickers on their team. Quarterback rolls right, and it's off the fingertips. The left hand of Andre Martinez, not the tallest receiver, standing in at 5'7", unable to haul it in.
You know, every one of the passes that Maines has thrown except the one have been high.
Incomplete brings up 4th down, 4th and 15 for Lakeridge from the Cardinal 28.
All right, here's the moment of truth. Looks like Maines is in to hold, and it will be Johnny Rodas Hills, and you're familiar with this player.
He is a star. Lakeridge won the state 6A soccer championship last year. They played very well this year. Rodas Hills is their leading goal scorer.
So it's not uncommon. However, a penalty of an illegal substitution pushes them back 5 yards, and this is going to change their plans entirely. That's a huge penalty. Now it looks like they're going to change it up and go for a punt. So Rodas Hills will head to the sideline, and the punt unit comes out, and one of those, it looks like.
Well, that would have been a 42-yarder. They didn't even attempt it. Lincoln did at 42.
Michael Forbes back to receive for Lincoln. And they bring out a new kicker. That's number 47, and they're going to let this one go. No, they keep it. Did they keep it out of the end zone?
One of the Lakeridge players caught that ball. Caught it and knocked it down at about the 1 yard line, I believe.
It was number 47, Joe Marini, with the kick. He's not even listed as a kicker. Big tight end. And what a special teams play. Lakeridge playing well. I know there's no score, but they recovered from the turnover and now pins Lincoln as deep as they possibly could be. So a dangerous spot for Lincoln, who likes to run the ball quite a bit. Brad Emmons under center, a lone receiver on the near side. They do hand it off. They get some running room. Not a lot, but it is breathing room for the Lincoln offense. Nick Osmo, gain of 2, maybe 3. Hard to tell from our vantage point.
Osmo, 7 yards on 3 carries now.
Court Giroux in on the tackle for the defense.
Penalty flag on the field.
And now we have a penalty.
Well, this flag wasn't related to the last play. This is before the snap here. There we go.
Sideline warning
on Lakeridge. You know, somebody stepped out.
That's 2 odd penalties, especially early on. Usually something like a sideline warning you'd see towards the end of the game. But a lot of emotion out there on the field. Brad Emmons crouched down under center, and more movement. Who moved first?
Penalty on the field prior to the snap.
I did see a Cardinal back moving. It could even be a motion penalty. Let's see.
Offsides on Lakeridge. That's a big penalty. That gives Lincoln so much more room to work with, expands their play calling ability here on second down. Lone receiver on the near side, that's Jordan Hill. We saw him make the interception to start the game. Brad Emmons hands it off, running near hash. and gets near the 20-yard line. Plenty to get the first down, so Osmo getting the bulk of the carries here early on for the Lincoln offense.
For the Pacers, the gain is to the Cardinal, 18, a gain of 10, the Lincoln Cardinal first down.
So a big gain for Osmo, gets it up to the 18, and it's 1st and 10. Lincoln on the move, going right to left in their red and white jerseys here at the home of the Lincoln Cardinals, Mike Walsh Field on the west side of Portland. This one gets hands off to Easton, who gets around the far side edge, spins, falls forward, and enough for the first down. Easton gets 11, maybe 12 on the play.
Number 2, Court Giroux, and number 99, Brett Logston for the Pacers. Gain is out to
biggest gain of the night so far for the Cardinal. Easton with 11 yards on that carry for the first down.
So Osmo and Easton, the stars of the show for the Lincoln offense, but still no points to show for it. This one goes to a first-time ball carrier on the game. That's number 24, Daniel Kovalev.
Brought down by number 17, Finn Reeves.
Lincoln has had no trouble scoring, at least in PIL play. In league play, the lowest points they scored throughout the season, probably 28, which was a week ago. But a week ago, they basically, no offense to Wilson, but basically took the second half off. There's a handoff going up the middle. Solid gain up to the 36-yard line.
Boy, the first quarter is flying by. We're down to around 2 minutes to go.
Definitely a very quick pace. Both teams keeping it on the ground for the most part. That clock continues to run. A few penalties, but the referees have kept the action quick, and there's been no delays. They know what they're calling, and they get that presented right away. Here's another handoff. This one goes to number 23 of the Lincoln offense. That's enough for the first down. Ethan Stahl with the carry. And as you can see, if you're a newcomer to watching the Lincoln offense, they spread the ball out quite a bit on the ground. That's 4, maybe 5 ball carriers already for the Lincoln Cardinals here in the first quarter.
1, 2, 3, 5 different ball carriers here in the first quarter.
The unofficial stats of Dave Hall.
Very unofficial.
1st and 10 up to the 45 from the far hash mark. The crowd begins to get into it. Here in the first round of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. Here's a pass, and it's off the fingertips.
Flag down.
2 or 3 times off of Easton. And let's see what the penalty is.
It was at the time the ball snapped, so.
Easton on the crossing pattern, tipped it up in the air, almost able to retrieve it. And it looks like Lincoln is going to back up.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
An illegal shift on the Lincoln offense. So we'll repeat first down, 1st and 15 now from the 40.
We're at 1:11 left to go here in the first quarter.
Still no score. Really surprising both pace, and both teams have threatened, but scoreboard remains nothing but zeros. Here's a handoff trying to run near side, now cuts across up to near the original line of scrimmage is number 24, Daniel Kovalev. Get at least one more play off before the end of the first quarter. 2nd and 9 to go.
6 on the play for Kovalev brings up 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals. Ball at the Lincoln 46.
They've mostly seen in that traditional wing T formation lone receiver. This time it's Jordan Hill at the top of your screen. The big 6'5" receiver who is getting a lot of attention from recruits. You know who else getting recruits? It's Nick Osbo running up the far side of the field, and he gets plenty for the first down all the way up to the 35-yard line.
That plenty is 20.
I heard a rumor, Dave. I don't know if he's a big fan or his family's a big fan, but I heard that the Osmo family was in attendance for one of the World Series games in Houston, and let me tell you, that sounds like quite the treat to me.
My. I know we gave a shout-out to him a couple of weeks ago when they were listening.
Well, you know me, Dave. I've been to a lot of playoff games, baseball playoff games. I've never been to a World Series game. As the clock winds down, and that's the end of our first quarter. Surprisingly, no score between the Lincoln Cardinals and the Lakeridge Pacers here in round one of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship. Let's tell you about some more of our friends and sponsors. The Thirsty Lion Pub and Grill has handcrafted food, beer, and cocktails with locations in downtown Portland, Washington Square, and the streets of Tannismore. And Grand Central Restaurant and Bowling Lounge, your home for fall football, bowling, craft beer, and a new game room located at Southeast 8th Avenue and Morrison Street. Two great options that have something for everyone. Trailblazer Foods, founded in 1984, is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2017. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out online at trailblazerfoods.com.
Leading rushers here in the first half, Maines for Lakeridge. He has 5 carries for 37 yards. Nick Osmo has 5 carries for 35 yards. Maines is 0 for 5 passing with 1 interception.
All right, Lincoln switches sides of the field. A fresh 12 minutes on the clock here to begin the second quarter of action. Brad Emmons trying to lead his team down the field, put some points on the board. A missed field goal by Harry Son.
1st and 10 Cardinals starting the second quarter.
On their first possession.
Lakeridge 35.
Lincoln will line up on the near hash mark. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line in those red and white jerseys on a nice cool evening, just about 40 degrees here on the west side of Portland. One man in motion. Here's the snap, and we have a whistle. Could have been a little too much movement up front.
Too much movement on the Cardinal. Where'd all these people come from?
I told you they were still filing in when things got started.
Because we looked down here before the start of the game, and I know some people were saying, there's not many people here. And I look down now, where'd all these people come from?
Oh, I knew if history was any indication, they were going to have no problem filling the stands here at Mike Walsh Field, the home of the Cardinals. So it's actually a penalty on the defense. 5 yards moves them up to the 30-yard line. 1st and 5.
All that shifting drew somebody into motion.
12 minutes. Once again, the start of the second
quarter. Get the
quarter.
clock back up to an even 12 minutes. No official play has been ran yet here in the second quarter. Emmons under center. Has his lone receiver on the near side right. They hand it off. Trying to run up the near side. That's Easton. He gets inside the 25-yard line.
And that will be a first down.
That is enough after the penalty. You are right, Dave. So Easton, one of many seniors on this Lincoln roster. 27 seniors, in fact. Lincoln has a very deep roster overall. That's one advantage that they tend to have against most teams in the area is sheer numbers. You can look at each sideline on your screen if they are visible. Lincoln, not by a ton this time, but still outnumbering Lakeridge. So 1st and 10 from the 23. Going left to right, one man in motion yet again. Hand it off to Osmo, trying to get it outside. It gets outside the numbers on the far sideline, and he's not going to run into any white jerseys. That's enough for the first score of the ball game. It's Nick Osmo with 11:31 on the clock here in the second quarter. And Harry Son will enter the field to attempt this extra point. Brad Emmons into hold. Snap, hold looks good, and this one has the accuracy and certainly plenty of distance as Lincoln is pumped up. You see number 51 running to the sideline, Will Duffy, one of those many seniors hoping to continue his season a week from today.
They just ran a sweep play to the left that time. Pure sweep play. Osmo cut the corner inside, ran it into the end zone. 24-yard touchdown run for Nick Osmo.
Referees not messing around tonight. We have a sideline warning on Lincoln this time, so both teams have been issued said warning. If in case you're wondering, looking at the bracket moving forward, if Lincoln wins this game, they will be facing off against the winner of Gresham and South Medford. South Medford, the number 5 ranked team in the state. Meanwhile, Gresham, the underdog in that game, number 28. So they had to travel quite a bit and is playing as we speak. All games in the state championship, that same 7 p.m. start time. So if we get the opportunity, we will attempt to update you on that score. Meanwhile, here at Lincoln High School, 11:31 on the clock. Lincoln is on the board after a sweep play to Nick Osmo.
I just did a game in Medford 2 nights ago, a playoff game, a soccer playoff game.
You've been traveling all over
I have.
the great state of Oregon here on OregonSportsBeat.com. Dave Hall doing a little bit of everything. Here's the run back from inside the 5-yard line, now trying to get outside to the far sideline, and it's another good return by Lakeridge.
That's 2 kickoffs and 2 returns out to at least the 40-yard line.
A lot of times you'd advise them to just let that ball take a bounce, goes to the end zone, take your chances from the 20, but in Lakeridge's case, they have some talent on that return game.
Actually, this one out to the 34, but a good field position start for the Pacers.
So let's see what Charlie Maines can do. He's gotten a long break as Lincoln ate up the clock on their last possession. Charlie Maines in the shotgun. One running back flanking him to his left. He hands it off, now running up the far sideline for a short gain. That's number 24, Caden Beige-Weatherby. Just a sophomore and a very precise weight at 164. Usually they round those off, Dave. 5'11", 164.
Maybe each one of those pounds was important.
Here's another handoff to Beige-Weatherby, and that looks to be enough for the first down and plenty more. Up to the 48-yard line. Oh, you see the line judge move up a little bit. He was waving his arms at the 48 and then took a step to his left up to the 49.
Weatherby has 4 carries for 34 yards.
First and 10, just shy of midfield, just above the Lincoln Cardinal logo here at Mike Walsh Field. Quarterback drops back, looks over the middle, and it's out of the reach of the intended receiver. Running up the far sideline, he had the defenders beat.
Well, that increases, and now Maines is 0 for 6 passing.
Orion Crowfoot, the intended receiver. Another sophomore that's a main focus on this offense. And Lakeridge coming into the game, coming into the state championships, just a 4-4 record in the regular season, but it's pretty clear that they have some young talent on this roster.
They have a win over Sherwood.
Quarterback looking left. He's going to take it himself this time. Tucks it in. Gets it across midfield up to the 46 in Lincoln territory. A 5-yard gain for Charlie Maines. You're right. Looking at the results for both of these teams, the most impressive win, not to take anything away from what Lincoln did, but probably the most impressive win for both teams is that Lakeridge win over Sherwood, winning 49-42. Here's a snap, a delayed handoff. No, he pulls it back, throws it over the middle, and incomplete. Intended for number 9, Will Skaden, the big target, 6'3", 190, on that crossing pattern over the middle as he taps the back of the defender, Jordan Hill.
Can't blame that incompletion on the quarterback. I know he's 0 for 7, but that ball was thrown right in the receiver's hands.
Sherwood, in case you're wondering, ranked number 17 coming into the state championship. That 16-17 matchup, you were mentioning it before the game, so closely matched, yet Liberty by the skin of their teeth getting the home field advantage.
Number 16 gets home field advantage, number 17 doesn't.
Now we have a penalty. There was penalties on both sides. So the penalties do offset. It was roughing the passer on the defense and then pass interference on the offense. So we'll try it again, 3rd down. I didn't see the roughing the passer. I was looking at the ball going across the middle. But 2 separate penalties on the play. Offset each other. Quarterback signals to put a man in motion, and he's going to tuck it in, try to find a hole on that left side, but a number of red jerseys there to stop him as Charlie Maines has nowhere to go.
Motion that time went to the right. Maines just pulled the ball down, tried to go off of left guard, and the Lincoln Cardinals just were sitting there waiting for him.
All right, 4th down, 4 yards to go. It looked like they might be going for it. I believe they still will attempt to go for it on 4th down. However, the clock stops. There was a timeout called by Lakeridge, the first timeout of the game by either team, first used by the head coach of the Lakeridge Pacers. That's Elvis Akpla. And that gives us a moment to tell you about some more of our great sponsors here on Lincoln High School football, presented by Oregon Sports Beat. Moronis Analytics, founded in 2002. Moronis Analytics specializes in damage analysis for litigation, business valuation, and forensic accounting. We're a group of financial professionals with diverse specialty credentials in forensic accounting and business valuation. Visit them at moronisanalytics.com for more information. Go Cardinal football. So 9:39 on the clock. Lincoln leading 7-0 after a Nick Osmo running touchdown to get things started here in the second quarter after a scoreless first. Lakeridge going forward on 4th down, 4th and 4. Big play here. Quarterback tucks it in, running, extends the arms, and he got it. Another big run by Charlie Maines. And they signal to move the chains.
Remember that play in the first quarter where Maines was going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, put his head down and got it? Same situation here.
I understand why they've given the reins to Mr. Charlie Maines, and they're going to have him for one more year, just a junior. He, of course, wants to extend his season here in the first round of the 6A Football State Championship.
One turnover
by OSAA.
One turnover in this game, and that was Maine's pass interception.
Maines shouting to that offensive line, signaling for the motion man. Fakes the handoff, now has the pitch back to him. He's under pressure, spins, stays alive. Cocks back the right arm, but now he's going to take it himself. Gets across, and did the ball come loose at the end of the play? Doesn't look like it did, but some dangerous running. Charlie Maines certainly has no fear.
Shane, if you watch that play, they faked a double reverse.
A lot of action going on in that play.
They faked a double reverse, and there was Maines standing with the ball, tucked it down, and gained 3 yards.
2nd and about 7. Maines has the snap. Here's a handoff going up the middle, tripped up, shy of the first down. And we have some extracurriculars on the near side of the field. It was Hunter McKercher Davis of the defense, and then number 37, Matt Peterson of the offense. As you see a flag.
That might be a personal foul on each one of those players that might offset.
We'll see. We saw them get tangled up at the end of the play. 8:25 on the clock here in the second quarter.
Number 11 for Lakeridge, number 8 for Lincoln. Let's see what the call is. Nope, we're going to march it off against the Cardinals. Personal foul.
Maybe there was more extracurriculars than what I saw.
We're marching off 30 yards.
Against the Cardinals.
Because I heard them.
15-yard penalty to the end of the play will make 1st and 10 for the Pacers.
So it's 15 yards after the run.
Ball at the Cardinal.
So not exactly clear who the personal foul penalty was on. I saw McKercher Davis, may have been Liam Saltzman. But either way, a costly penalty for the Lincoln defense. 1st and 10 inside the red zone now. They hand it off to number 24 of the offense. That's Caden Beach-Weathersby yet again.
When I was saying 30 yards, I meant the run and the penalty that time, but it's closer to 25, but certainly resulted in a big gain for the Lakeridge Pacers.
2nd down from the 14 now.
Number 22, Nick Osmo. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 for the
3
Pacers.
receivers stacked to the near side left. I don't believe we've seen this formation from Lakeridge. Quarterback drops back, looking to the left. Throws it into the end zone, tipped by Jordan Hill of the defense.
Main's pass.
Incomplete. And there was 1 white jerseys and 3 red jerseys.
Again, that pass was high, and Maine seems to
Maybe
have...
intentionally.
Maybe.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and
But if you're
7
going to throw it away, you want to make sure.
Nobody can
When
catch
you got a
it.
6'5" defender back there in Jordan Hill, you want to make sure it's out of his reach. So 3rd down, big play here with 7:32 on the clock. Charlie Maines looking to the sideline for the play call.
The referee at the back of the end zone just threw a flag.
We have a delay of game
There it
on
is.
the offense.
He was keeping the clock.
And you can hear the crowd reaction. There's been a couple of costly penalties, but you can't really be critical of the referees just for watching the clock. That's not exactly a judgment call. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back, looking over the middle, and it's incomplete. And once again, you see way more red jerseys in that area than white.
I don't want to keep making the point, but that's 0 of 9 for Maine's passing.
Intended receiver Will Skaden. So 4th down, we saw them line up to kick a field goal earlier, and then a penalty changed that plan to a punt. So now we will see Johnny Rodas Hills attempt his first. It'll be a 34-yarder. Here's the kick. It's a line drive, but he has the distance. And for Johnny Rodas Hills, he gets the Lakeridge Pacers on the board with a field goal. And you said he is one of the star soccer players for the Lakeridge squad and getting it done on the football team as well, Dave.
That coming at 7:22 left to go here in the first half. A 34, is that what you said, 34-yard?
I believe 34, 35 in that range. Let's tell you about our friend John Bruce of Guild Mortgage. When you are making as major a financial decision as buying a home, you want it done with the best. John Bruce of Guild Mortgage has been supporting the Lincoln football community and providing home mortgages for over 20 years. Call him today at 503-635-8997. Go Cardinal football. Make it happen. So both teams on the board here now in the second quarter. 7-3 Lincoln up top.
You know what there has not been in this game, Shane?
What's that?
A fumble.
I believe there was a ball loose at the end of that return that Lincoln recovered, but no fumble turnovers. Okay. Rodas Hills with the kickoff. Received on the far side of the field by Lincoln. And I believe it's Hunter McCutcheon Davis, excuse me, getting stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Up to the 19, looks like.
Johnny
Reeves in on the tackle.
Johnny Rodas Hills, 5'7", 150.
19-yard line, 1st and 10 Cardinals. Once again, number
sure that body type fits in a little bit more on the soccer field.
I think so. I notice he lays back and doesn't go down to make a tackle.
Yeah, I'm sure if that return man was coming right at him, he'd take his best shot. 7:15 on the clock. Lincoln back out there on offense, going left to right. Here's a handoff to Osmo, who breaks free after he had a couple defenders at his ankles. excuse me, that's Ethan Stahl, 23. And Ethan Stahl breaks the tackle and turns that into a big run.
Stahl kind of hit at the line of scrimmage. A couple of people hanging on to him. He broke free and got another 15 yards.
You know, a stat that you consistently hear at higher levels is yards after contact.
Exactly.
Ethan Stahl excelling in that department there. Here's a run up the near hash mark. Another quality gain. About 7 yards on the carry for Stahl.
What I like about Stahl, he has a move where he looks like he's going to run a sweep play to the outside, and he makes a little jump move and stops and cuts it right upfield.
Pacers crowd in attendance hoping for a turnover. Of course, Lincoln wants to secure that ball, and they've been eating up lots of clock here in the first half. Here's a handoff to Osmo. He gets to the outside left. That's enough for the first down, and plenty more inside the 45-yard line up to the 44 of Lakeridge territory. 6:05 on the clock, but there's a penalty, which negates the big run there by Osmo. Holding on the Cardinals.
39.
Backs the ball up to the 39-yard line of Lincoln, so a big swing there as far as where the ball is placed. So 2nd and 11 from the 39.
Osmo 6 carries, 59 yards.
Jordan Hill, lone receiver, set to the near side right for Lincoln. Handoff goes up the middle, and a little dive at the end of the play, and that's going to be a first down. So Osmo gets those penalty yards back.
Brought down by number 7, Connor Hiltz. The gain is to the Lakeridge.
You know, Dave, towards the end of the regular season in league play, we saw a lot of 2, even 3 receiver sets for the Lincoln offense. And we haven't seen that so far here tonight. It's been mostly just Jordan Hill out there as the lone receiver. So very traditional wing T style offense here from Wes Warren and company tonight. Hill on the far side of the field this time. They look his way, and that's a dangerous pass.
Evans' pass is knocked out the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
I was just going to say, if you looked, 8 people up in the box for Lakeridge that time, 3 defenders off about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. It was a perfect time to throw to Hill.
I believe it was Finn Reeves of the defense who got his hands on it. So Emmons incomplete, trying to get it out to Hill. They're going to keep it on the ground this time. Hand it off, running up the near hash mark. Osmo, another big gain for him, up to the 41.
On the tackle for Lakeridge. It's a gain of 8 on the play. They bring up
3rd and 3.
About 3 for Lincoln.
From the 41-yard line, Lincoln in Lakeridge territory. This is kind of a spot on the field where you'd have to wonder if they don't gain anything here if they decide to go for it on 4th down. Crowd getting pumped up on both sides. Just under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Here's a handoff, trying to run up the middle. A little dip and dodge, and that's going to be enough. Ethan Stahl with a couple hops up the near hash, and that's enough for the first down. They move the chains.
That's a good description of what he does, hop. And he gets the ball, stops and takes a little hop back another direction, and then dives forward.
That's all they needed there. Gets enough for the first down up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 from that near hash mark. Lincoln on the move, going left to right, leading it 7-3 over the Lakeridge Pacers here in round 1 of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. But we have another penalty, delay of game on the Cardinals. We've seen delay of games on both sides.
Moves the ball back to the 40, 1st and 15 for Lincoln.
First down and 15. The clock ran below 4 minutes before the stoppage for the penalty. 3:50 on the clock. Here in the first half in a quick moving game. Here's the snap. Emmons, handoff, but he runs into a couple defenders. Defense coming up big as number 24 for the Lincoln offense, Daniel Kovalev, had nowhere to go. You see number 54 for the Lakeridge Pacers. That's Hunter Paulson, the linebacker, a big guy, 6 foot, 200. Makes the stop.
41, second down and 16 for the Cardinals.
A loss of 1 on the play, second and 16. Hand off to Easton. Cuts it up the near side, falls backwards for a couple extra yards.
Tackle by number 13, Alex Johnson for the Pacers.
3rd and long.
Gain is down to the Lakeridge 33, 3rd down and 8 for Lincoln.
3rd and 8 in a spot where they don't convert here. Maybe they attempt a long field goal yet again with Harry Son. We know he can kick it. And we have a timeout called by Lakeridge, their 2nd of the first half. Lincoln still has their full set of 3.
If they were to try a field goal from this distance, it's 50 yards. So I think they might need about 10 more.
The OSAA Football State Championships live on.
All right, let's tell you about some more of our sponsors. We have orthopedic and fracture specialists. They are honored to provide medical service to Lincoln athletic programs. Dr. Andres is Lincoln's team doctor. Call 503-214-5299 for appointments. Or visit us at oandfs.com. Go Cards. That's oandfs.com.
The two teams combined 0 for 11 passing. The Cardinals 0 for 2. The Pacers 0 for 9.
Both teams have plenty of talent in their run game. And so far early on have been dependent on it. So it'll be 3rd and 9 coming out of the timeout.
3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals.
Maybe
Ball
8.
inside the Lakeridge.
2:39 on the clock here. Second quarter, Lincoln leading at 7-3, hoping to expand their lead before halftime. Here's a handoff to Osmo. He breaks free, spins, falls forward. That's enough for the first down.
22, Nick Osmo on the
And
carry.
Osmo,
Tackled by 13, Alex Johnson.
seems to me when they need a big play,
First down, 1st and 10 Cardinals.
they go to Osmo.
From the Lakeridge 22.
He does look like he's jogging just a tad gingerly. We'll see if they attend to him at all. Come to the sideline.
86 yards rushing right now for Nick Osmo.
Here's the snap. Emmons looks left, under pressure, now rolling right. Throw is incomplete on the near sideline, intended for Easton,
Bradman's pass is incomplete.
who looks a little upset with himself. That was at the numbers.
Number 31, Jared Bartunik with the
So
coverage
I know
for the
Emmons
Pacers.
still over in the passing department, but I don't think that one was any fault of his own.
0 for 3.
10 Lincoln.
Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Emmons under center. Jordan Hill, the lone receiver on the far side left. Handoff going up the middle for a short gain. The ball may be loose.
Lakeridge is signaling they got it.
36, Frank Elsner on the carry for Lincoln.
Let's see. Elsner on the carry.
Really tough to tell from our vantage point. Let's wait for the official signal. And it looks like Lakeridge does indeed have the ball. So Elsner unable to secure it. So now Lakeridge has an opportunity with 1:54 on the clock. However, you have to wonder if they're going to be disappointed. They only have one timeout to work with. And you know they've had trouble completing passes in the air. So if they keep it on the ground, they're going to have to move quickly.
Each team now with one turnover, a pass interception for Lakeridge and a fumble for the Cardinal.
U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
So the Pacers offense gets a chance here to get some more points on the board. Lincoln,
1st and 10 Pacers.
Held to just 7 points thus far. They're in the lead, but the way the Lincoln offense was coming into this game, it's still a slow start for them. Here's a little dump-off pass on the far sideline. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Charlie Main's pass is complete. Number 1.
Charlie Maines completes his first pass of the game to Andre Martinez on the far side of the field.
Rowdy Harrelson for Lincoln.
And that'll stop the clock to allow the chains to move briefly. Now they run the clock. And before they even get the chains set up, they snap the ball. So Maines rolling left now tucks it in. He gets across the 40, knocked out of bounds, shy of the 45. And he stops the clock with 1:32 remaining here in the first half. Hunter McKercher-Davis in on the coverage.
Smart move that time by Maines to run that ball out of bounds to stop the clock with only one timeout left.
Yeah, we've seen him previously on a lot of plays try to extend plays for as long as he can, but that time he alertly just runs out of bounds casually, stops the clock. Here he drops back, looking to the far side left. He has a man, and it's number 9, Will Skaden, makes the grab, and he's dragged out of bounds. So I mentioned there wasn't a lot of time off the clock, but Lakeridge making me look foolish because they are moving down the field without much trouble. And stops the clock with 1:26. Here's the snap. Maines rolling right. Under pressure. And he takes it himself at the last moment, takes a big hit there at the end of the play.
Brought down number 8, Griffin Lewis.
You know,
Lewis on the tackle.
After I commented that Maines didn't have a completion, he's got 2 in a row for 36 yards.
10 still for, I think that's 2nd and 9 for the Pacers.
2nd down, 9 to go. They may have to save that timeout for a field goal if it comes to that. Maines under pressure, evades it. We do have a flag in the backfield. Maines is going to take it himself and run out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
The penalty flag down in the backfield.
See what the call is.
Holding
on the offense.
The indication is holding against the Pacers.
We did see a red jersey spin around when he was trying to approach the quarterback.
It was the right end that time as Maines rolled to the right. The right end reached back and grabbed one of the I didn't see which one of the Cardinals he grabbed, but someone was chasing Maines, and there's the hold.
Well, that backs the ball all the way back to midfield. Right there on the top of your screen, far hash mark above the Lincoln Cardinal logo. So now, with 49 seconds, they really have to throw the ball. They stack the receivers on the near side.
25 yards for the first down.
Maines looks to his left. It's complete, but near the line of scrimmage, so they get a little bit out of it. Actually get 5 yards as he spun around and fell forward to the 45 in Lincoln territory. The clock continues to run. One timeout remaining.
To the Lincoln 45 will bring up 3rd down and
Charlie Maines
17.
Has the snap, looks over the middle. And he's going to try to keep it himself, and he really had nowhere to go, both in the air and on the ground. And now they're going to call a timeout with 11.8 on the clock. Now here, do they perhaps attempt an extremely long field goal or go for a Hail Mary into the end zone?
Well, let's see. A field goal would be 60 yards.
The state record is 63.
Held by Adley Rutschman.
Adley Rutschman just a few years ago from Sherwood.
The reason I know that, I called the game.
Folks, make sure you stay around at halftime for a...
No, I didn't. I called the game after it, the week after it.
We called the Sherwood game, you and I believe it was the second or third round of the playoffs.
Yes, we did. You're right.
Lincoln, of course, season ended that game against Sherwood in their first of what turned out to be 3 PIL championships in a row, but was unable to defeat Sherwood at their own game with the wing T offense.
4th down for Lakeridge.
All right, 4th down now. And it looks like they're going to air it out. And you could go for a quick sideline pass to try to get out of bounds. Let's see if they go that route. No, they're running all the way downfield. They do air it out. You have one lone white jersey in the end zone. That's picked off. Lincoln Cardinals are going to try to run it back. It's Jordan Hill running up the near sideline, and he runs out of room at the 40, and that's going to do it at the end of the first half.
That is the end.
Lincoln Cardinals 7, the Lakeridge Pacers 3. So right now, Dave, we knew coming in, Lincoln was certainly favored. Lakeridge coming up 2 losses against very high-ranked opponents. But Lakeridge is showing they can play. A couple costly penalties come to mind. One when they were going to kick a field goal. Who knows what the result of that would have been. But nonetheless, a penalty caused them to change their plans. They decided to punt it. And then they were driving down the field to end the second half. And then a costly penalty, a holding penalty, backed them up all the way to midfield, which led to the Hail Mary attempt.
That last penalty you were talking about, that's a drive killer. Lakeridge was on the way, trying to get on the board again. Neither team scored in the first quarter. All the points in this game coming in the second quarter. Lincoln got on the board first with 11:31 left to go in the half. A 24-yard touchdown run by Nick Osmo. The point after touchdown by Harry Son was good. It was 7-0. And then with 7:22 left in the first half, a 35-yard field goal by Johnny Rodas Hills. And that made our score what it ended here at the half, 7-3 Lincoln.
Cheerleading squad.
All right, we're going to get some cheerleading entertainment as we attempt to get you updated on some scores around the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. We mentioned the other side of the bracket, Gresham and South Medford. Unfortunately, right now, I'm unable to track down any scores, but as soon as we get them, we will let you know.
All right, I would tell you, Maines, who we talked about, was 0 of 9 passing. He is now 3 for 13 with 2 interceptions, and that's for a total of 41 yards. On the other hand, Emmons is 0 for 3 passing. Leading rusher in the game is Nick Osmo. Osmo has 86 yards.
Osmo's really done it all for the Lincoln Cardinals all season long.
You're coming, right? Yeah.
9 carries, 86 yards for Osmo.
All right, trying to take a look at some of the scores around the league. Fellow PIL team, West Salem, or Franklin, I should say, but West Salem currently leading 28-0 over Franklin, so not a good start for the fellow PIL teams in the playoffs thus far. Meanwhile, some other scores from around the league. It's very hit or miss looking at Oregon Live, trying to update you on some of the scores. Some of them are updated, some of them are not. I will say that South Medford and Gresham, we do have a score for that game on the other side of this bracket. And as expected, South Medford, a heavy favorite. They are currently leading 28-0 over Gresham. So keep that in mind if you're a Lincoln fan and you want to travel out to next week's game. If these scores hold, anything can happen, especially with 2 more quarters to go. However, if Lincoln does advance, they will be traveling to South Medford, most likely come a week from today. Some other scores from around the league. Sprague beating up on Southridge 29-0. That's the number 8 team, Sprague, over the number 25 team in the bracket. Meanwhile, Sheldon over Beaverton 17-0 currently. And once it just a lot of one-sided scores here early on in the first round of the playoffs, Dave.
That's because you're looking at those big differences in the matchup. Other than the 16-17, you know, For example, Clackamas at number 2 is playing the number 31 team. Lake Oswego at number 1 is playing the 32 team. So there's some big disparity in the power rankings in those pairings, but that's the way the brackets are set up. You'd expect some huge wins for those teams.
All right, well, we're going to step aside just for a few minutes here at halftime. Once again, Lincoln leading it over the Lakeridge Pacers 7-3. But before we get there, I'm going to read some of our sponsors yet again. We do want to tell you about our friends, of course, at Washman. Washman, wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling, clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. At Gilda's Italian Restaurant, we believe that the best food is prepared simply, using the best possible ingredients and made with love. The same type of food that you would experience in Italian homes, whether here or in Italy. We are proud supporters of local high school athletics. Located downtown on 17th near the soccer stadium, Gilda's Italian Restaurant. And lastly, the Thirsty Lion Pub and Grill. They have handcrafted food, beer, and cocktails with locations in downtown Portland, Washington Square, and the streets of Tannisbourne. And Grand Central Restaurant and Bowling Lounge, your home for fall football, bowling, craft beer, and a new game room located at Southeast 8th Avenue and Morrison Street. 2 great options that have something for everyone. So stick around. We'll have the second half in just a few minutes as Oregon Sports Beat presents the 2017 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship.
We'd like to recognize you guys. Just line on up.
The problem there is you don't like that. I just use that for example. If you don't have to. My only strategy to get stuck. No, wait. Oh no! Rainbows coming up here, and now we got. Oh, you missed it. Let's use Miro to high school. You already beat your high school work. That was fine fast. You're a stick on your ankle. What the heck? That's no fair.
$5 deal.
As they're getting lined up, first we'd like to wish our cross-country athletes good luck in Eugene tomorrow. The girls' team, featuring Kyla Becker, who finished in the first in the district race last week, will compete for the state title tomorrow in Eugene. Good luck, Cardinal cross-country. Next, we'd like to recognize our 12th ranked girls soccer team, who is in the midst of their playoff run. Girls, give us a wave. Show them who you are. They beat McKay last Sunday 3-2 at home, then crushed Aurora in the second round on Halloween 4-1. Their next contest is the quarterfinals tomorrow night, 5 p.m. at Cleveland High School. Now we'd like to congratulate our girls soccer players who earned all league honors. Our first team athletes are Ella Ando, Natalie Swope, and Anna Gorlach. Our second team athlete is Gwen Llewellyn. Our honorable mention athletes are Ella Birdsall and Lillian Barton. Congratulations, girls soccer, and good luck tomorrow, Cleveland. Now let's meet our 2017 PIL Boys Soccer Champions. The team earned a 7th place OSAA ranking this season with 8 players earning all league honors. We'd like to identify a few of those who had outstanding seasons. Our PIL player of the Justin Chen. Our second team athlete is Wyatt Jenkinson. Our athletes who earn honorable mention are Ethan Jones, Coleman Alvarez, and Daniel Pizarro.
John Jenkins is what his name is.
Congratulations on an excellent season, Lincoln Boys Soccer. Finally, we'd like to recognize our other PIL champions, our 2017 volleyball team. They ranked 13th state and did not lose a single game in league. They swept the 3 games to none in the first round of the playoffs, then fell to Jesuit in the second round. Let's congratulate the volleyball team to their medal of honor. Our PIL player this year is Livy
I want my
Lazara.
safety bag.
Our first team athletes are Livy Lazara and Grace Gilbert. Second team, Abigail Stevens and Carmen Archer. And honorable mentions are Isabella Clusterman, Jasmine Sells, and Bennett Shoemaker. Way to go, Lincoln Volleyball. Let's give one more round of applause for our fall athletes.
I
Congratulations.
messed up because Grandma was watching, so there's an athlete that gave me an extra life. Soccer physics.
Big congratulations to all the Cardinal athletes, and along with our thanks from everybody to our great Cardinal Athletic Director, Jessica Russell. Those of you that do not know, Jessica makes everything work around here and has our great thanks. At Les Schwab Tires, they know buying tires today means more than just price. It includes service, selection, quality, and value. This is why, dollar for dollar, tire for tire, Les Schwab is the tire store you can trust. Les Schwab Tires, proud sponsor of the OSAA Championships and doing the right thing. Wilson is proud to be the official football of the Oregon School Activities Association. Wilson works tirelessly to develop championship performance in every game and goal that brings you the innovative technology you want in every game.
Wait,
Visit
let's
them
not even
online
do
at
the
wilson.com.
I wanted to
Folks, if you want to see some more fun
the
Lincoln football this weekend, tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Tigard High School, the Lincoln Youth Football first place JV team will take on the Clackamas Cavaliers
Wait,
in the JV Youth Football semifinals at 1 o'clock at Tigard High School. Also at 5 o'clock at Tualatin High School, the 8th grade varsity team plays its quarterfinal game against the Mountainside Mavericks.
you look so
Cost of admission is free. If you get the chance, please come out to Tigard at 1 or Tualatin at 5 and support the future of Lincoln football, the Lincoln Youth Football program.
No! Get it! No! Get it! No! No! This is not even play the game. Let's just beat it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Let's just beat each other. Oh, no! Victory! Ah! No! This is not even playing the game. I'm so bad at this game, but that puts your hands up. Finish it! Finish it! Let's just play the game for let's just beat each other up. Ah, Steve! Hold on, Steve! Mine? What the heck? Let's just beat each other up while trying to get it out. Oh! Yeah! Body slam! WWE! Not even do anything.
Where's everybody else? Super cool.
Yay!
Cardinals back on the field. Scores for the game, Sherwood is out of Liberty, 28-14. Jesuit 51, North.
Welcome back to the first round of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship. It's round one, and tonight the Lincoln Cardinals are playing host to the Lakeridge Pacers. Hi, everybody. I'm Shane Downey, joined by my broadcast partner, Dave Hall. We've had a close, competitive, and a very quick-paced game here thus far. 7-3 in favor of Lincoln here in the first half.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted I was watching the sidelines. Some of the players, I was trying to see how they were reacting, and I noticed the Lincoln players were very pumped up. They must have got a good speech from Wes Warren down there at halftime, but only one touchdown accounted for offensively by the Cardinal in the first half. I mentioned Nick Osmo has 86 yards on 9 carries. Stahl has 40 yards on 4 carries. Easton has 21 yards on 2 carries. Passing, Brad Emmons is 0 for 3, so that's kind of the offense. All been on the ground, about 150 yards rushing for the Lincoln Cardinals.
A turnover for each team. Fortunately for those teams, neither turnover leading to points.
Well, now 2 turnovers for Lakeridge, 2 pass interceptions.
That's right. The one
and
at the
Jordan
end
Hill,
of the first half.
Jordan Hill has them both. The leading rusher for Lakeridge is Maines, the quarterback. He has 11 carries for 57 yards.
Maines has certainly shown that he has the talent as far as running the ball, and shortly before the end of the second half, he hadn't completed a pass, and then he completed back-to-back passes to show that despite what the results may have been early on, he certainly has some talent throwing the ball as well. But we're just a few seconds away from beginning the second half. As into kickoff will be Johnny Rodas Hills, and Lincoln will receive to start things out here in the third quarter. 2 men back to receive, just shy of the 10-yard line. Michael Forbes and I believe Easton kicking from the far hash mark. 12 minutes on the clock, and we're ready to go here for second half action. Lincoln leads it here at the home of the Cardinals. Mike Walsh Field leading at 7-3. Here it goes, end over end, deep kick. And they're going to run it back for the far hash mark inside the 10-yard line. Gets just across the 20. No, he stays on his feet, does Easton. And he's going to battle, and he breaks free across the 30, 40, midfield. All the way inside the 40 of Lakeridge territory. And Dave, that might be one of the best plays I've seen from Lincoln all season long.
2 things on that play. One is the kickoff return by staying on his feet and taking that ball. Instead of being down on the 20, he's down on about the 35. The other is that kicker, Johnny Rodas Hills, 5'7", 150, slowed that ball carrier up and stopped a touchdown.
I remember telling you earlier in the game, if he gets a shot, he's going to take it, and he did just that. Did slow him down just enough as Easton gets it all the way up to the 39-yard line after it looked like he was backed up at the 20. And here's a quick handoff to Ethan Stahl. He gets it up to the 31-yard line for about 8 yards on the carry. And second down and 2 just underway here in the third quarter. Third quarter. But Lincoln moving the ball quickly. Jordan Hill, lone receiver on the far side. Second down. Emmons under center. Here's a handoff across the middle. That's going to be enough for the first down. And notably, Dave, all along the regular season, we saw both Emmons and Parkell splitting the majority of the duties. A lot of times they would take turns on each possession, manning the quarterback position, but thus far, every snap has gone to Emmons.
Doing a good job of managing the offense. Nope.
Excuse me. Osmo gets 5 yards on that last carry. And it's 1st and 10 just outside of the 20. Emmons, handoff. It's Stahl running up the numbers. And he gets a lot of extra yardage at the end of that play, and that looks to be enough for a first down. They will move the chains. Not quite 1st and goal. They get it up to the just in between the 11 and the 12-yard line.
Can get a first down without scoring here.
Of course, I'm sure they'll be shooting for that end zone. Here's the snap. Quick handoff to Osmo. He gets outside to the left. Stiff arm. Stays on his feet. Dives forward. No official signal yet.
They're spotting that down about the 1.
And you said they didn't have to get into the end zone to get a first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Osmo did everything he could, outstretching. Actually, it looks like he's a little outside of the 1. No, they're calling it. Is it 2nd down? I swear they signaled.
I thought they signaled first down, but now they're showing it's about a yard short.
They definitely signaled to set those down markers, or the
They did, I know.
markers down, and they did, and now they brought them back up. Either way, see if we can get in the end zone this time. They're signaling for the touchdown. They got it. From about 3 yards out, add another 6 points on the board. Nick Osmo with 10 minutes on the clock, able to add another score for the Lincoln offense. Now they stop the clock at 9:54. So Ben Paul in to kick the extra point this time. Snap looks good. Kick has plenty of distance, end over end, right through the uprights. So Ben Paul gets the opportunity for the extra point, and he comes up with the point. 9:54 on the clock here in the first round of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship.
Second rushing touchdown for Osmo in the game, and I'll tell you, he's over 100 yards now. He has 14 carries for 105 yards.
So Lincoln wasting no time here in the third quarter to get on the board after they were shut out in the first quarter, managing to score touchdowns in the second and now the third quarters of the ball game, leading at 14-3.
They scored 30 seconds into the second quarter. They scored 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the third.
Avery Son will kick it off, kicking left to right on this cool evening, just over 40 degrees here on the west side of Portland. They go for the onside kick, and it ends up in the arms of number 31 for Lakeridge. That's Jared Bartunik.
That wasn't
wow.
That wasn't your kick where they kick it on the ground onside. That was that little pooch kick, go about 10 yards in the air and try to catch it.
It wasn't that poorly executed. I think I'm just surprised they went for it at all.
I'm actually surprised it went 10 yards, but it did, and it was caught by one of the up men for the Pacers. Now they have good field position at the 45.
All right, it'll be up to the Lincoln defense now to make a stop here after gifting Lakeridge good field position. One man in motion. They hand it off, trying to get to the outside. Now running up the near hash. Breaks free. That's enough for a first down. Outside the numbers now. Stays on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds is the ball carrier, Will Skaden, coming from the receiver position in motion. And a quality gain. And they already had good field position. Now excellent field position for Lakeridge. First down in Lincoln territory.
just kind of the little flanker reverse that was skating for 18 yards.
First down. Another man in motion, now 2 men in the backfield. Hand it off, quarterback tucks it in, takes it himself straight up the middle, finds a hole inside the 30, all the way up to the 22 just about. And another first down, this time on the ground from Charlie Maines.
2 straight carries of 18 yards each gets the Pacers all the way down to almost to the 20-yard line.
The Pacers fans in attendance getting plenty to cheer about on this drive. Maines trying to take it himself. You see a flag. Maines gets it up to the 16, but we'll see what the penalty is.
7 yards on the carry, but a flag. Pacers are walking back. There's a hold on the Pacers.
They've had one costly holding penalty at the end of the second quarter. This could be another one because instead of being in the red zone and threatening to put some points on the board, they are backed up to the 30. All right, they'll repeat first down. First and 18 from the 30-yard line. High snap, hands it off. Running near side, breaks free, up near sideline, has a couple trailers, dives, and it's Andre Martinez from 30 yards out. And we've got ourselves a close game with 8:42 on the clock here in the third quarter. Andre Martinez turning the corner and had a burst of speed. Johnny Rodas Hills in to kick the extra point. He already has a field goal in this game. Kick is end over end. Bullseye right through the uprights. And it's 14-10, so how about that response, Dave, from the Lakeridge Pacers? Lincoln got on the board here early in the third quarter, and Lakeridge matches it.
You know, Lakeridge has this play. The flanker comes in motion. He comes right by the quarterback as the snap is made. And the quarterback, Maines, decides whether to hand it off to him or not. That time, Maines could see that the left side was open, handed the ball off to Martinez. On only his second carry of the game, Martinez goes 30 yards around the left end for a touchdown.
Excellent play by Martinez. And let's take a moment to tell you about some of our friends and sponsors. Washman, wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. Moronis Analytics, founded in 2002, specializes in damage analysis for litigation, business valuation, and forensic accounting. We are a group of financial professionals with diverse specialty credentials in forensic accounting and business valuation. Visit them at www.moronisanalytics.com for more information. Go Cardinal football. Here's the kickoff. We saw Easton with an excellent return to start the third quarter. Here he runs up the near hash and gets knocked down shy of the 30-yard line this time.
You know, that onside kick last time resulted in field position for Lakeridge at the 45-yard line. They went 55 yards in 3 plays.
In no time at all. Even had the penalty that knocked them back, but it didn't matter. So up to the 27-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lincoln offense. Moving left to right in those red and white jerseys, leading it 14-10, 8:35 on the clock here in the third quarter. Wing T formation, couple options in the backfield. They hand it off to Osmo. He runs near hash, and he gets a couple yards out of it after running into contact early on. I believe that was Stahl. My apologies. 22-23. Look real similar from our vantage point.
6 brings up 2nd and 4 from the Cardinal 33.
Up to the 33-yard line. 2nd down. 4 yards to go. Emmons under center. Takes a handoff to the first option. Gets it out to Stahl, excuse me. Once again, he spins around, exposes that number, and gets it up to the 38, maybe 37-yard line. It's another first down for the Lincoln offense.
You know, we had 10 points in the whole first half. We've had 14 points in 4 minutes here in the second.
First and 10 from the 38. They'll need to get across midfield to continue to move the chains. Emmons under center. Here's a handoff to Osmo this time. He's running near Farhash, spins, falls forward. He's near the first down marker. Got a lot of extra yardage at the end of the play, and extra effort by the young man could lead to a first down. It's close. Looks like they're going to mark it just shy.
Looks to be like about a half a yard shy.
Osmo loses a towel, it looks like. He retrieves it, tries to strap it to his backside. About a half yard to go, second down. Handoff going up the middle. Stahl has enough. Gets a couple extra yards. Into Lakeridge territory at the 44.
Stahl now with 72 yards rushing, and Nick Osmo with 119.
If Stahl keeps up this pace, could be the second triple-digit runner of the night for Lincoln. I believe we covered a game where they had 3 once.
We did.
Here's a handoff to Stahl. He gets around the outside edge. He's running far sideline. 20, 10, one man to beat. Touchdown. I think that's going to break 100 yards.
Well, that's
for Ethan Stahl. A big run for Ethan Stahl. And both teams, a battle of heavyweights here in the third quarter. Some big punches leading to scores. 6:10 on the clock with the extra point upcoming. It's 20-10.
That takes, I mentioned Osmo with 119, Stahl now with 117.
Emmons to hold. Kick is good. And it was Harry Son that time. We've seen Son and Paul alternate on extra points so far after 3 scores. It's 21-10. And this is looking like a very competitive game. You know, sometimes at this level, the scores can be a little lopsided. This looks like an NFL-type score here in the third quarter, 21-10.
Any possibility we see an onside kick this time?
I wouldn't bet on it.
I wouldn't either. I know Coach Warren is probably saying, I don't think I'll try that again.
Like I said, the execution was there. It's nice to know they have that in their wheelhouse, though. They may have not executed perfectly. Of course, it did end up in the hands of Lakeridge, but you could see I'm sure they've worked on that one in practice. All right, Harry Son into kickoff. See if he kicks it deep. He does. Near sideline, not quite that deep. It's caught by the second level man. Number 14 falls on it, falls down. That's Jonathan Broughton.
And a wise move on his part because he juggled the ball a little bit and make sure nothing bad happened. He just fell on it.
So from the 25-yard line, Lakeridge gets an opportunity with 6:08 on the clock to respond to the most recent score by Ethan Stahl and the Lincoln Cardinals. This time they won't have the excellent field position that they had on their previous possession. 25-yard line going right to left, 1st and 10, as Maine signals for a motion man, hands it off. Trying to get around the outside edge on the far side of the field. Lots of bodies spinning and flying around there, but it looks to me no gain on the play.
You know, the two defensive ends for the Cardinals are doing a great job of containment. They're standing their ground. They're trying to catch those sweeps coming left and right. Whereas on the other hand, the Cardinals are having success getting around the corners. Both Osmo and Stahl have gotten around the corners, and both have scored on runs around the corners.
3 receivers stacked on the near side left, but they're going to hand it off. And it's about a 5-yard gain up the middle. Maybe 4 yards on the carry.
I was a little worried there. I didn't think that there were 3 Lincoln defenders in coverage, but the safety was up that time, and he was going to take the 3rd guy.
3rd and 6 for Lakeridge.
3rd and 6 after the 4-yard gain. Maines in the shotgun, 2 men in the backfield. Here's a handoff, trying to get it around to the left side, stumbles, and that was Martinez, and just couldn't get his footing there, trying to make the turn, and we have a Lincoln Cardinal hopping off to the sideline. Looks like Liam Saltzman, one of the stars of the defense for Lincoln, he got something twisted up on that play.
He's looking like he has a low back pain.
He's trying to walk it off. He's not being attended to. Now one of the trainers are going to run over to him, see what's going on. Nope, he's just walking up and down the sideline.
He says, I'm the doctor.
Here's the punt, and it's not a good one. It takes a bounce at the 40. And Maines, it was the first punt, I believe, of the game for either side. And Maines, the quarterback, getting the punting duties and not able to net a lot of yards there.
12.
Just 12 yards as Lincoln will take over on the 40, going left to right from the far hash. 4:13 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. They're leading at 21-10. Not a productive possession for Lakeridge. Emmons under center. Fakes the handoff, now rolling right. Hasn't had a lot of throwing opportunities, but here's a pass that's underthrown for Osmo.
Emmons would have been better than just to pull it down and take a couple of yards.
Osmo trying to come back as Emmons threw it across his body, but incomplete. The clock stops at 4:06. 2nd and 10. So Emmons, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, has yet to complete a pass.
0 for 4.
One receiver to the far side left. They hand it off yet again. Breaking free through the secondary is Osmo. And that's another big run for Nick Osmo. And once he breaks free through that second level, there's no stopping that young man. And with 3:58 on the clock, the tables have turned in the last couple of minutes of this game. Lincoln leads it 27-10 with the extra point upcoming.
That's a 40-yard run for Nick Osmo, and that is going to take him to 159 yards rushing.
All right, as we said, the kickers taking turns on these point-after attempts. Ben Paul, his accuracy is second to none. Gets it through with 3:58 on the clock, 28-10, and Lincoln looking dominant here in the 3rd quarter. I know they did allow the touchdown, but on the past couple offensive possessions, they have looked as good as ever this season.
Osmo and Stahl combined 276 rushing, closing in on 300 between the two of them.
If you're just joining us, this is the 2017 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship Playoffs Round 1 between number 12-seeded Lincoln and number 21-seeded Lakeridge. The Lakeridge Pacers, you know, sometimes in these state championships, teams have to travel a long way. Lakeridge, not a PIL team, however, didn't have to come that far from the Lake Oswego area, just on the outskirts of Portland. Here's the kick. It takes a bounce. They have a chance. Forbes has it.
I don't know if that was.
I don't know if I would have called that an onside kick, but it certainly worked out in the favor of the Lincoln Cardinals.
I don't think it was onside kick. I think he got too far under the ball.
I think it was just a pooch kick into that second level.
And it just took a bounce, and one of the Lincoln players, I think Forbes, is that right?
Yeah, Michael Forbes, who we usually see primarily on offense at that receiver position, but he plays special teams consistently throughout the season, running kicks back, and obviously has the hands of a receiver, able to just jump up and grab that one. And I said it a moment ago, the tables have turned, but wow, now the momentum is truly in Lincoln's favor, leading 28-10, recovering their own kickoff after a touchdown inside the 30-yard line. Here's a snap, handoff, another run up the near sideline. Knocked out of bounds is Ethan Stahl, so 3:50 on the clock. And Lincoln threatening yet again. Second down, 2nd and 7. After a 3-yard gain by Ethan Stahl from the near hash mark. And if you're Brad Emmons, you want to take advantage of this field position. Jordan Hill, far side left. Michael Forbes, he hasn't gotten a lot of snaps on offense, but getting the job done on special teams. What a play by that young man. Here's a handoff to Osmo. Sweep out to the left side edge, turns the corner, gets near the first down marker. We'll see if it's enough.
Did you see they had 3 offensive linemen in front of him blocking? The guard, the tackle both pulled, and the wing back pulled.
Excellent blocking out in front. A lot of unsung heroes on this offensive line for the Cardinals. Duffy, Luke, Harrelson, Plew, Prince. And I'm sure they've swapped in some others throughout the game. You do not have the kind of running game that the Lincoln Cardinals have without an excellent offensive line. Looks like timeout called by Lakeridge. It was 2nd and 1 yard to go from just inside the 20. That gives us a moment to tell you about some more of our sponsors. John Bruce of Guild Mortgage. When you're making as major a financial decision as buying a home, you want it done with the best. John Bruce of Guild Mortgage has been supporting the Lincoln football community and providing home mortgages for over 20 years. Call him today at 503-635-8997. Go Cardinal football. Make it happen.
You know, we had Coach Wes Warren on early in the season on the Oregon Sports Beat TV show, and one of the things he said, I looked down on the field and we were in a play, and the left guard had his wrong hand down. And I go, wow, if you can coach linemen that good to know that a player had the wrong hand down, that's the guy who's devoted to offensive linemen.
If you're going to run this wing T offense, you're going to have quality offensive line play. As I'm just taking a peek out at Michael Forbes on the sideline. He has a couple teammates talking to him. I'm sure they're giving him a pat on the back on that excellent special teams play that has allowed the offense to have this opportunity with excellent field position. 2nd and 1, just inside the red zone in Lakeridge territory. Lincoln moving left to right from the 19-yard line. I thought it was 2nd down. The PA announcer said 2nd down, but now the line judge, it says 3rd down.
Okay. All right, so a little confusion on the down marker, but either way, I'm sure regardless whether it's 2nd or 3rd, Lincoln, of course, wants to convert here. All right, well, we have a delay in the action. Not sure what the wait is. They just put about 30 seconds back on the clock. It was 3:07, and now it's 3:35.
All right, that's a big change. 3:35 on the clock. Emmons under center, 1 yard to go. Here's the snap. Handoff. They're going to get enough. And Kovalev gets outside the 10-yard line up to the 12, and now there's no doubt about it. It's 1st down.
Kovalev's 4th carry, he has 14 yards on those 4 carries.
1st and 10, Lincoln at the Lakeridge 12.
1st and 10 for the 12-yard line. Yet again, a spot in the field where they don't quite need a touchdown to get a 1st down. We saw this on their last possession. They got it up to about the 2. See what they do here. Emmons takes snap, handoff, trying to get out around the outside edge. It's spin and falls shy of the end zone does Daniel Kovalev, but is it enough for the first down?
It might very well be a first down. Let's see where they're spotting this, because they only need to get to the 2. And
The gain is to the Lakeridge 2-yard line.
Oh, they're saying 2. It looks like it's about a half yard to go.
Yard for Lincoln.
So 2nd and a half, but really anything here, you're getting into the end zone.
2nd and a half for the first down.
Correct. Half yard, but 2 yards to go for the goal line. Here's a handoff to Osmo. Does he get 3 scores on the evening? He does. Osmo continues his star caliber play here tonight. And with 2:25 on the clock, adds another score. And it's 34-10. Lincoln has really turned on the Jets here in the third quarter. Seemed like just a moment ago, Dave, I was talking about how close this game was.
You know, 3 touchdowns here for Nick Osmo in the game, but that's 28 points here. Well, after the PAT, it'd be 28 points in the third quarter.
Really something for the Lincoln offense to come out here and explode in the third quarter. A week ago, they put in some new personnel in the second half and struggled to put points on the board, but no fatigue from that game.
I'm wrong. 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns for Osmo. He had the first one, he had the second one, and he's had the last 2.
And then a stall touchdown in there, correct?
Rest.
Here's the kick. Doesn't quite have the distance, but it has the accuracy. And Ben Paul converts to the extra point as the kickers continue to alternate.
Osmo a touchdown at 11:31 in the first. In the second, he had a touchdown at 9:54, a touchdown at 3:50, a touchdown at 2:25. He's got 4 on the night.
Certainly don't want to shortchange Osmo. An excellent night for him. 4 touchdowns.
.184 yards between Osmo and Stahl now. I'm sorry, what I meant to say was 284 yards.
Really something else. Triple digits. Harrison in to kick it off after the Cardinals have really laid it on the Pacers here in the third quarter. This one is a pooch kick on the ground. They're trying a little bit of everything on special teams. Goes into the third level. The up back takes a spin, gets it up to the 36. Running it back there was Matt Peterson. So 2:18 on the clock here in the third quarter, and now it's a big lead for Lincoln. We'll see if Lakeridge changes their offensive play calls here. They're going to have to score some points and quickly.
Pacers will take over 1st and 10 at the Lakeridge.
Charlie Maines, as I mentioned, he hasn't thrown a pass here in the second half, but he is 3 for 13 passing.
They will spread it out, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. 1 man in the backfield. Quarterback in the shotgun has the snap. Drops back, looking over the middle, looks left. Now he's going to take it himself. We've seen him do this many times. Tries to get to the outside, and a little sidestep gets him a lot of extra yards across midfield. It looked like maybe he was going to go towards the sideline near that first down marker, and instead gets it all the way up to the 48-yard line in Lincoln territory. Nice job by Maines.
I'm impressed with Maines. He has a nose for the first down marker.
In the Lincoln territory, 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 48.
Maine is not the type of quarterback runner that will take a slide at the end of a play. He's trying to get every yard he can. They're stacked on the left side, but they're going to hand it off, going up the middle, staying on his feet, and finally whistled down. Shy of the first down, but not by much. An 8-yard gain. Number 24, Caden Beige-Weathersby.
Gain of 7 for the Pacers, 2nd down and 7. Make that 2nd down and 3.
Second down, about 3 yards to go. Here's the snap. Another run up the middle. That's going to be enough for a first down. And Beige Weatherby, solid gain up the middle. Inside the 35. 1:28 on the clock on a cool evening here on the west side of Portland. Probably the coldest we've had all season. Quarterback fakes the handoff to Beige Weatherby and takes it himself for a short gain.
That's 88 yards rushing in the game for Maine so far.
Sure, Maine's not too concerned about his stats at this point. He wants to get a win. He wants to be playing a week from today, but it's going to take quite a comeback as Lincoln has come out firing here in the third quarter. He drops back here, and he's under pressure. He tucks it in himself, outruns the lineman, and he's going to stay on his feet inside the 10. Maine's, I believe he may have crossed 100 yards there, but like I said, he wants to get into that end zone.
He had 25 yards on that carry, and that takes him up to 113 yards on the ground himself. He had the whole field to run to that time when he dropped back. Everybody in Lincoln dropped back in coverage.
So first and goal, Lakeridge looking to get on the board. Handoff, near hash, inside the 5. Finally hear a whistle. They're going to stop. Forward progress looks to be about the 3-yard line for Beige Weatherby. It could be the end of the third quarter. It is, as the clock runs out. So the end of the third quarter, 35-10. It looks like a little bit different ballgame than when we started this second half. Lincoln in the lead over the Lakeridge Pacers here in round 1 of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship. Let's hear a recap of the scoring there in the third quarter, Dave.
All right, scoring in the third quarter. It started off 9:54 to left in the quarter. A 3-yard run by Nick Osmo, the point after touchdown by Ben Paul, and the score was 14-3. Then Lakeridge got on the board, 8:42, a 3-yard run by Charlie Maines, the point after touchdown by Rhodus Hills, and we were relatively close at 14-10. But then the Cardinal ran off 3 straight scores, a 45-yard touchdown run by Ethan Stahl, that coming at 6:10 left to go in the quarter. The point after touchdown by Harry Son was good. It was 21-10. A 40-yard run by Nick Osmo with 3:50 remaining. The point after touchdown by Ben Paul was good, and that made our score 28-10. And then with 2:25 left to go in the quarter, a 2-yard run by Nick Osmo, his 4th score, point after touchdown by Son, and it was 35-10.
All right, so second down and goal. Lakeridge now moving left to right, trying to run up the middle, but they run into a wall of red jerseys. Beige Weatherby, Liam Salzman, who we saw walk to the sideline gingerly a few minutes ago, looks to be just fine in on that defensive stop. Maines signaling to his line, the play call. Beige Weatherby to his right. Takes the handoff, hands it off to the motion man, running off right tackle. Looks like he got in. He did. Martinez with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And with 11:20 on the clock, just underway here in the fourth quarter, Lakeridge Pacers say, not yet. No time for celebration for the Lincoln Cardinals. As looks like they're going to go for 2. Receivers split on each side. 2 men in the backfield. Quarterback has it. Looking to his left. He's under pressure. Trying to turn the corner. Spins. Falls forward. Does he get enough? He does. And Charlie Maines, he's been doing it all night. The extra effort on the ground from the quarterback allows the two-point conversion, and it's now 35-18.
You see where we are now, that 2 touchdowns with 2-point conversions will not get the Pacers there. They're going to need at least 3 scores.
They will need 3 scores. However, 2 touchdowns, if they decide to go for traditional extra points, they could put it in a situation where they just need a field goal. So we'll see if going forward on 2 there comes down to any sort of significance towards the end of this ball game. 11:22 on the clock. Let's take a moment to tell you about our friends at Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman.
300-yard rushers in this game. Osmo with 167, Stahl with 117, Maines with 113.
2 men back to receive. They're going for the onside kick. They kick it on the ground, and it looks like Lincoln is going to recover.
Cardinal had their good hands people up there in the front and came up with the ball. It barely went 10 yards.
I believe it was Zach Schwartz on that front line, able to track it down. So, once again, an unsung hero in the game. I don't think Zach Schwartz is going to appear at the top of the box score. However, that's a big play there. If he isn't able to handle that cleanly and Lakeridge maintains possession, then momentum is completely in their favor. And we have a flag, looked like before the snap.
It was.
Like a flag on each side. Lincoln's backing up, likely a false start on the offense. It is.
Actually, the call is
they
offside.
Call offsides. Either way, it's 5 yards.
It's a 5-yard penalty on Lincoln. 1st and 15 for the Cardinals.
All right, if you're Lincoln, you still got a big lead, a 3-score lead, as we just outlined. I think they just want to run off as much of the clock as they possibly can.
Exactly.
Lincoln with a full set of timeouts. Lakeridge has used one of theirs. Here's a handoff. This goes to Kovalev. He tries to get to the outside. He's knocked out of bounds. Looks like no gain. Oh, they give him a yard. I've been watching that line judge all night on the near side of the field. I've seen him take a few steps. He steps in with his arm up and then will sidestep to wherever the line judge is on the other side. So they do give him a yard up to the 44-yard line. One receiver set to the near side. Easton in motion. He's available, but here's a pass out to Jordan Hill, and it was overthrown. Looking for a flag. Jordan Hill gets it. It was number 7 of the Pacers, Connor Hilt, in on the coverage. And Jordan Hill, I don't know if he knew that ball was coming to him or not. He got spun around at the end of the play, and I don't know that it was necessary. Okay, see, now I think this penalty might be on the offense because Jordan Hill's throwing his hands up. He was clapping his hands, and now he's disappointed because I saw him get spun around there, but it looked to me he didn't really have eyes on the ball and just made contact with the defender, and it is indeed pass interference on the offense.
You know, when the ball's underthrown, the receiver sometimes becomes the defender, and he turned around and he just grabbed a hold of the defensive back, and that's where the penalty was. Because the ball was underthrown, that's what instigated all of that, because Hill had a couple of steps on the defensive back.
So Hill going from jubilation to disappointment as the ball is backed up all the way inside the 30 after a 15-yard penalty, second and very long. And who knows, they might just air it out to Hill again and take their chances. We know he's certainly capable of a deep ball catch, but instead they keep it on the ground, and they break free. That's going to be a long gain all the way up to the 44-yard line. And that changes quite a bit here on this possession for Lincoln as they managed to get it all the way inside the 45 up to the 44 in Lakeridge territory.
Who was that on the carry?
You know, I was hoping you knew that, Dave. It happened so fast.
I was listening for the PA announcer, and I didn't hear it. It was a 26-yard pickup, whoever got it.
I have an idea, but I don't want to be wrong.
Okay. What's your idea?
I think it was Osmo, but
Okay.
you know, every game of the season I brought my binoculars,
You forgot him today.
except this one.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Here's a handoff running, trying to cut across now up the middle. Inside the 40, that's enough for a first down. So it was second and very long, and the Cardinals managed to convert there. And that was number 24 on the carry, Daniel Kovalev. So just under 9.5 remaining in the ball game, 35-18 in favor of the Cardinals.
Well, I think that carry was Osmo. I was watching the position the player came from. I'm going to credit to Osmo and give him 193 yards rushing. If I'm wrong, remember my stats were unofficial.
Very unofficial, the Dave Hall stats here on OregonSportsBeat.com. Here's Kovalev near hash, and far hash, excuse me. Gets up near the 30-yard line, just shy of the first down marker. Kovalev about 9 yards on that carry. So Lincoln continues to milk the clock here in the fourth quarter, looking to advance here in the 2017 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship Playoffs. Here's the handoff, trying to run near side is Kovalev. He gets tangled up. Looks like number 17 in on the tackle, Finn Reeves.
First down, I believe. Yes, it is. They're going to move the flags. Well, no, wait a minute. Yes, they are.
They do indeed. Finn Reeves on that tackle. Fun fact, Dave. I have two cats, one of them named Finn.
That is a fun fact.
I'm sure the listeners were just dying to know. First down inside the 30. Emmons drops back. It looks like it's a design run. And he's going to gain about 4 yards on the play. And a flag at the end of the play. Jordan Hill signaling it's on the defense. We'll wait for the official call.
6 different ball carriers tonight for the Lincoln Cardinals.
So after the play, once the ball was dead, it's a personal foul penalty. It looked like they were spotting the ball at the 26. So a 15-yard penalty. This will get them inside the red zone. And it'll be another first down, and Lincoln is really looking to put this one away. Under 8 minutes remaining, already leading by 3 scores. Emmons getting every snap of the ball game at that quarterback position here in his senior year. Handoff going up the middle, and another score. Nick Osmo, 5 touchdowns. Now you have the hat trick for 3. What's the phrase for 5? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's something out there. I gotta look up my lexicon after the game. Be prepared for next season. All right, Ben Paul in to kick the extra point with 7:41 on the clock. Now we have a penalty on Lincoln. It's an illegal substitution. You know, we saw that early in the game on the Lakeridge. They're not missing anything.
Okay, remember my sets are unofficial, but that gives Osmo 213 yards rushing, 117 yards rushing for Stahl. That's 320 yards rushing between those two backs.
All right, they fought the penalty and they won. The flag has been picked up. No illegal substitution after all. Ben Paul in to kick the extra point. Hold looks good, and Paul right through the uprights, had one more point on the board. Jackie Robinson's number, 42 points. As Lincoln leads it over the Lakeridge Pacers, 42-18, 7:41 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
Now that Mariano Rivera has retired, it'll never be anybody else's number.
Except on Jackie Robinson Day. Then it's the broadcaster's nightmare.
Right.
Everyone is 42.
Who is that guy?
All right, Harry Son in for one of his many kickoffs here tonight.
Let's see if the Cardinal tried to do anything on this kickoff. They've experimented.
They really have. You're not wrong there at all. So we will see what we get here with Harry Son, perhaps experimenting for a closer game in the remaining games in this playoffs.
Right.
But they do kick it deep across to the far side of the field, takes a bounce and rolls out of bounds.
There's the flag. That'll bring the ball out to the 40.
Got to keep that ball inbounds on the kickoff. So 7:41 on the clock.
I mean the 35.
Pacers take over, and they're going to need to score and convert on some onside kicks themselves. They want to have any chance at this one.
Now a four-score game. Gosh, it sounds like a Lincoln speech.
Well, we are at the home of the Lincoln Cardinals.
Exactly.
Mike Walsh Field. I believe they have a sign below us that says the Bird's Nest or something to that effect. As that pass was complete on the far sideline, so a good start here for Maines and company. The Lakeridge Pacers are going to have to convert a number of quick passes, not only on this possession. They are exactly 3 scores behind, and that's if they score 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. A very tough task. Here's a run, getting it up to the 40. Nice little extension at the end of that play by Beige Weathersby. A lot of hyphenated last names on the Lakeridge Pacers roster. You have Rodas Hills, who we've seen in the kicking game.
Thank you for pointing out to me that it's a 3-score game now, because Lincoln went for 1. If Lakeridge went for 2, it would only be a 3-score game to get even.
That's right. Here's the snap, looking over the middle, has a man. It's caught inside the 20. And that's number 1, Andre Martinez. He's been one of the stars of the show for the Lakeridge offense so far, and they're moving quickly. 2 timeouts remain here in the fourth quarter for the Lakeridge Pacers. First and 10 at the 14-yard line. They hand it off. Stops on a dime, running up the near hash. Near the 5-yard line is the ball carrier, Will Skaden. Harrelson in on the tackle, playing on both sides of the ball. Both the offensive line and defensive line. Harrelson, one of many seniors. I couldn't believe on senior night last week, Dave. I believe it was 27, my apologies, 27 seniors on this Lincoln roster. We have a flag before the play.
Penalty on the play. Is a
false start on the offense.
That'll be a
5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Nick Osmo has 5 touchdowns in this game. Those 5 touchdowns account for 89 yards.
Most tailbacks would take 1 touchdown and 89 yards, but
exactly.
5 can't do any better than that.
213 yards.
Snap, quarterback looking left, now rolling left. You saw a receiver wave his hand, but he's going to take it himself. Charlie Baines, the quarterback keeper, running on the far side of the field. He had 6 points. And I expect the offense to stay on the field. Attempt a 2-point conversion here. Currently the score 42-24 with 5:33 remaining. And let's see what head coach Elvis Akpla of the Lakeridge Pacer draws up here on this 2-point attempt. Quarterback pitches it back, and it's Martinez, and he loses his footing trying to cut back on the inside. And it seems to me, I'm sure that was by design, but if he would have just kept running in the direction that his momentum was going, he would have had an easy score. But instead, we've seen Martinez twice now lose his footing trying to do those cutbacks and unable to get into the end zone. So now 42-24, it remains a 3-score game.
Each team now with 14 points here in the fourth quarter.
So Lakeridge able to convert a 2-point conversion on their previous touchdown. Evens it out with the failure to convert on the latest attempt.
I'm sorry, Lincoln with only 1 score here. It's 14 to 8, 14-7.
Either way, Lincoln leads big still, 42-24.
I was not a math major.
Neither was I. 5:33 on the clock. Here's the kick going for that onside. They keep it on the ground. The ball is loose there, and let's see who turns up with it. Tough to tell. No official signal just yet. That definitely bounced around there on the ground for a little bit. Cardinals throwing up their arms a couple times, but it looks like on the recovery was Lakeridge. Cardinals have sent their defense out on the field. And I haven't seen an official signal, though, have you?
No, there has not been a signal, and the referees are talking. And now neither team has any players out on the field.
I mean, you'd have to know by now. I mean,
yeah, right. How can they be arguing about possession unless, well, I don't know. How can they?
It's first down for somebody. And they're extending the chains to our right, which would indicate it is, in fact, Lakeridge ball.
Must be a timeout. There must be a timeout in association with that. Let's look up into timeouts remaining.
Even if there was a timeout, you have to issue the signal. I don't. Oh, now we're getting a timeout. I think it's Lincoln calling a timeout. So both teams will have 2 timeouts remaining, with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock here in the fourth quarter. So Lakeridge doing everything they can to stay in the ball game, keep it close, but they have a lot of work ahead of them. And even though Lincoln's recovery on one of their own kickoffs may have not been by design, in the sense that they were kicking off in an onside fashion to try to recover the ball, both teams, I definitely haven't seen this all season long, both teams recovering their own kickoff here in the second half.
Exactly.
Well, let's take this moment to tell you about some more of our sponsors. Trailblazer Foods, founded in 1984, is one of the western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2017. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out online at trailblazerfoods.com. So 1st and 10, 5:30 on the clock. And Lakeridge, to keep their season alive, they're going to have a magical comeback in them. It's got to start here. Here's a throw to the sideline. It's caught, but he's turned up by Hunter McKercher Davis as Weatherby makes the grab out of the backfield. Gets it up to the 42-yard line, so a solid gain. It's now second down, second and about 4. 5:05, clock continues to run as he was kept inbounds on the completion.
Maine's now 5 of 16 passing.
Now we have a whistle and a clock stoppage. All right, we're ready to go. They want things up again. Maines in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking right. Under pressure. Rolling right now. He's going to tuck it in, keep himself. A little juke move there and gets it up to the 35-yard line. That's enough for a first down.
More importantly, gets it out of bounds, too.
Very important. Stops the clock at 4:42. They get it up to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. If you're just joining us, first round of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Football State Championship Playoffs, round 1. Lincoln has advanced in each of the past 2 years, looking to make it 3 in a row. Here's a pass that's caught, running near hash, breaks the tackle, now on the sideline, and it's a touchdown to number 9, Will Skaden, who turned what looked to be what was likely a short gain into a score, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're a Lakeridge Pacer fan, as they recover their own onside kick and score in a matter of seconds.
Maines to Skaden, 30 yards to score, gets this game down to 12, 42-30.
Now, I know you said you're not a math major, Dave, but how much time came off the clock between those last 2 touchdowns?
Let's see, a minute and 17 seconds.
That's really the best you can hope for. All right, they're down by 12. Now, they could go for it here and get in a position where it could be a field goal and a touchdown. It looks to be what they're doing. Going for 2 here, 42-30.
Well, it'd still give them a chance to win on 2 possessions.
That's true as well. Charlie Maines in the shotgun. Maines looking to his right, airs it out into the end zone. It's caught. Number 37 for Lakeridge, Matt Peterson, makes the grab into the corner of the end zone. And for Maines, who hasn't had a lot of success throwing the ball tonight, we know he's had an excellent night on the ground, but he converts there. And all of a sudden, we have a 10-point game with 4:16 on the clock here at Mike Walsh Field, home of the Lincoln Cardinals. This one has had a bunch of momentum turns here in the second half.
The Cardinals have been outscored here in the 4th quarter, 22-7.
Okay, likely to see another onside kick here because there's no benefit of something like a 2-minute warning. Although Lakeridge does have 2 timeouts, they're still going to have to score twice. Here it comes. Takes a bounce near midfield, and it took a bounce shy, but did it touch a red jersey, and Lakeridge is celebrating again.
I'm going to have to see if that ball went 10 yards. I haven't seen any flag or anything.
It took a bounce at about 8 yards, but if it touches a red jersey, okay, see, there you go. We see here the PA announcer announced it did not go 10 yards.
Yeah, I saw that ball and it looked to me like it went 8 yards. Not enough.
All right,
picked
so
up by the Pacers, but it'll be to the Lincoln.
You've heard a lot of cheers from both sides of the crowd, and now it's up to Lincoln to just maintain possession, likely to keep it on the ball, or the ball on the ground, keep the clock running, but most importantly, secure the ball. You don't want any opportunity for a turnover. Here's the snap. Emmons has it. Hands it off. Running near hash. And a power run there by number 24, Daniel Kovalev. And that'll move the chains. Clock does stop temporarily while they get those chains moved. 42-32. And if Lincoln is able to score a touchdown here, that'll just about do it.
Kovalev quietly has gotten 63 yards here.
All right, so Lincoln's going to take their time. We've mentioned many times throughout the season, no benefit of a play clock. So you have to have that internal clock and take as much time off the clock as you possibly can. Here's the snap. They hand it off to the first option. Breaks away up the middle. Is that Osmo? Holy cow, Dave. Number 6. He does it again. Nick Osmo puts the nail in the coffin. What is likely to be the end of the Lakeridge Pacers season. Nick Osmo having himself one of the best games, no doubt about it, of this first round of the OSAA playoffs.
For the Cardinals,
Okay, I've got Osmo unofficially 243 yards rushing.
pass kick is good.
Kick is up and good from Ben Paul. 3:35 on the clock. It's a 17-point lead. Once again, it's a 3-score game. Lincoln leading it. Let's tell you about our friends at Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling, clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman.
I don't know who's going to be the OSAA Player of the Week, but 6 touchdowns has to make some impression on somebody.
Yeah, we certainly don't have all the updates from games around the league, as we have, 16 games currently going on
Yes.
with 32 teams in the playoffs. I know I'm not a math major, but that one's not too hard to figure out.
That's not hard to figure out at all.
All right, Harry Son in to kick it off yet again. Let's see if they get creative. Unlikely with that 3-score lead. He kicks it deep. It's going to take a bounce at the 10 and roll. Does it get into the end zone? No, it rolls out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
That's the difference between it coming out to the 20 or the 35.
A big difference there. So 3:28 on the clock. Let's see what Lakeridge has left in them. You know they're not going to go down quietly in what is likely to be their final game of the season. It's single elimination time here in the 2017 OSAA State Championship.
When you sat down, did you think there's going to be 81 points scored in this game?
No, I can't say I did. You mentioned before the game, Lakeridge struggled to score in their previous 2 games. Now it was against 2 of the top defenses in the entire state, but still just 6 points in their previous 2 games. Quarterback drops to the near side, has a man. Spin. Martinez stays on his feet. When he caught that ball, he was about a yard shy of the first down, and instead he turns it into 12 yards after the catch.
Prior to this time, when Maines rolled back like that and then rolled out to the right, he's had a lot of room and he's ran. That time, he could have run for about 15 yards. He pulled it down, looked downfield, nobody was there, and he threw it underneath.
All right, just over 3 minutes remaining. Looks over the middle yet again. It's complete at the 40-yard line, running laterally. Now trying to turn the corner and gets out of bounds smartly. And we have a flag at the end of the play. Looks like a little bit of excessive contact by Jordan Hill.
Going to be on sportsmanlike conduct, and it was a hit that was clearly out of bounds.
It was a light push, but a hit nonetheless.
Right.
You got to pull those hands up.
He might
Once
not
the player has given himself up and run out of bounds. So with exactly 3 minutes on the clock here in the 4th quarter, they're going to advance the ball after the penalty.
And that was clearly not a malicious hit. He might not have realized he was out of bounds, but all he did was shove him.
So 22-yard line now, 1st and 10. Year hash going left to right. And we've seen this a few times now. Lakeridge Pacers know how to move the ball when they're in a hurry. One man in the backfield, receiver split on each side. Quarterback drops back, looking right. Now throwing over the middle. A leaping incompletion.
Wow.
It would have been an excellent catch. It was an excellent throw. But Martinez unable to pull it down, and we've mentioned this height more than once in this game. 5'7". He had to go up a long way to make that grab and couldn't quite come down with it.
And a great throw by Charlie Maines.
So that does stop the clock at 2:54. Lakeridge still has 2 timeouts remaining, but they need to score on this possession. Maines looks back, cocks, and fakes to the left now, dumps it out over the middle. Inside the 20, it's complete, shy of the first down.
Clock continues to run, though, with that throw over the middle.
And now we have a timeout. Timeout by the offense. Lakeridge has 1 timeout remaining with 2:42 on the clock here in the 4th quarter, with Lincoln leading it 49-32. Let's tell you about our friends at Gilda's Italian Restaurant. We believe that the best food is prepared simply using the best possible ingredients and made with love. Same type of food you would experience in Italian homes, whether here or in Italy. We're proud supporters of local high school athletics located downtown on 17th near the soccer stadium. Gilda's Italian Restaurant. You know, Dave, I've been talking about this all season long. Every time I make that read, I'm always hungry when I'm doing games for some reason.
And you know what?
And I generally eat after the games, and I've been meaning to make a stop to Gilda's. Is tonight the night? It might just be.
It's right over there. It's 2 blocks away.
It's as close as can be.
I love their food. I'm coming over for the tortellini.
The Dave Hall endorsed tortellini over at Gilda's.
Yes.
I might have to try it for my very first time.
Our director,
tonight.
Jim Thompson, to give that endorsement too.
It has 4 thumbs up, as a matter of fact. Here's the snap. Main's looking left. Has his man. Spun. Does he get out of bounds? I believe he did.
He did.
So completed out to Will Skaden. And Hunter McKercher Davis in on the coverage.
10 seconds off the clock.
It'll be 1st and 10 just outside of the 10-yard line. Lakeridge moving the ball without much trouble here in the second half. But after digging themselves a deep hole, can they come all the way back? Got a long way to go. Airs it out into the end zone, but incomplete. Off the right hand of the intended receiver.
The fade pattern.
Jax.
Defended on the play by number 6 for Lincoln, Hunter McKercher Davis.
We've been saying the right name, right? They're responding to the PA announcer, who's been calling number 9 Jack Skaden or Skadden. Could go either way on that one.
Okay.
But I hope we've been saying the same name because it's right on our roster. It's Will.
Somebody yelled loud enough into our crowd mic.
You know what it might be? I'm looking at the roster.
What?
The player below is Jack. And here's a handoff running the far sideline. It's close, but no cigar. And I can speak to this as a broadcaster. Once you get a name stuck in your head, it's hard to get the habit out of your head. So maybe he's been calling him Jack Skaden the whole time. But
Right.
there's Will Skaden, and Jack Brakowski is the player below, number 10.
She can't hear us, but she can hear the PA announcer. So.
Oh, yeah. Here's a quarterback keeper. He gets upended and dives forward. And that's enough for the touchdown. Charlie Maines gets into the end zone yet again. Not the first time for him. And with 2:06 on the clock, I'll give Lakeridge a lot of credit. They continue to keep this fourth quarter interesting.
2:06 left. Expect another onside kick. A 2-point conversion here could get this game within 8.
Within 9, so it's still a 3-score game. 38 points. 2 points makes it 40. 49 to 40.
Ah, that's right. Right, okay.
All right, let's see if they can get it. They air it out to the far sideline, but overthrown, intended for Andre Martinez. He really didn't have any chance at it with Hunter McKercher Davis in on the coverage. So it remains a 2-score game. 11-point lead for the Lincoln Cardinals with 2:06 on the clock. Let's tell you about our friends at Papa's Pizza. Since 1971, family-owned Papa's Pizza has been serving and supporting the community. All locations have covered play areas, banquet rooms, and offer free delivery. They use quality ingredients, mix their dough daily, and purchase locally whenever possible. Come join Papa's Pizza for a slice of family fun. 2:06. This will be, I believe, our third onside kick attempt from the Lakeridge Pacers. They've recovered one, and one came up just shy of the 10-yard minimum. And now we have, is that a timeout on Lakeridge? I believe that's the signal I saw. That's a surprise because their timeouts are extremely important at this point in the game.
To take a timeout after you've just scored and had a few seconds to talk about things, someone must be, something different must be going on, because I've never seen a team take a timeout, line up for a kickoff and take a timeout.
you could argue this is the most important play of the game. If they don't recover the onside kick here, reasonably speaking, the game is over. Unless the timeout was Lincoln, but we haven't even seen a timeout come off on the scoreboard, but I believe I saw it signaled for Lakeridge. Really odd, and they didn't really take their time. They're back out on the field ready to go. So one of those teams has one timeout remaining with 2:06, and that's pretty important at this state of the ball game. And now the referees are going to confer. Not sure what the confusion is here.
Well, the one referee ran in all the way from the 20-yard line to midfield, so everybody's talking about something here.
And now he's running down to the far sideline.
They're anticipating.
They don't have any walkie-talkies out there.
Look what they did. The referees all lined up on the lines. The kickoff line and the 10-yard line. All 4 referees are up here.
Okay, so they said, hey, let's change our formation. We're anticipating an onside kick.
Right.
Here it comes. Takes a high bounce and into the hands of the Lincoln Cardinals. I believe Griffin Lewis.
And there's a flag, some kind of activity after the kickoff. There's a reason the football is oblong and not round, and that's because it takes those bounces. But I'm sure that Lincoln caught the ball, and there's a flag after that. Let's see what that is.
So now I'm even more confused than I was just a few seconds ago, Dave, because now Lincoln has no timeouts on the scoreboard. It would make more sense for I believe it's probably the case that last timeout was Lincoln, but they had 2. So shouldn't they have 1 now? It went from 2 to 0.
Well, I thought they had 1, but the clock.
Maybe you could be right. Maybe it was 1, and instead of subtracting, they added 1 initially.
Okay.
And now they got it right.
And the penalty is going to be on Lincoln.
In a way, this penalty might be a blessing in disguise. Now, bear with me here. With 2:05 on the clock, now they have more field to work with and just milk this clock as much as possible from the 32-yard line.
You know, I'm just gonna say that's convoluted thinking. Give us more yards to go. But I see what you mean.
Here's a handoff going up the middle. Osmo adds to his spectacular night with a short gain up to the 36. And the clock will continue to run. Now, Lakeridge has 2 timeouts, and they're choosing not to use them just yet. Really, if I'm Lakeridge, if you're not going to use them now, when are you going to use them? Jordan Hill, lone receiver, set to the far side left. Is there still no receptions, I believe, for Lincoln on the ball game? But they're going to keep it on the ground. No point in taking any chances. This should be enough for the first down. As Daniel Kovalev, I know he's nearing 100 yards, could be the 3rd Lincoln rusher to break triple digits. Up to the 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
Kovalev with 70 yards rushing now.
All right, 43-yard line, Lincoln.
You can't save those timeouts anymore. You're going to have to take them because you may never get the ball back if you don't take a timeout here.
I think if they were going to take them, they would have already. And we're just going to see Lincoln take a knee. Not quite a victory formation, but close enough. And they're going to run out of the clock. I think they realized Lakeridge had waved the white flag, so they're going to do the same. As the clock continues to run, they're going to have to run one more play. Brad Emmons, I know he didn't complete a pass, but he was the leader of the offense here tonight, playing every snap here in the first round of the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship. And Lincoln, for the 3rd straight year, after winning the PIL, they advance after round 1 of the playoffs. And coming up next week, they will be taking on the winner of Gresham and South Medford. Last we checked in, South Medford was up big. We will get an update on that score in just a few minutes. But Dave, we expected a close game. We knew that Lakeridge was better than their previous two games indicated because Lincoln faced similar opponents in their first 2 weeks, and they got blown out as well. And Lincoln showed signs. This is a very young team. There was a lot of sophomores playing in this game. Look at the Lincoln roster. Seniors and juniors, pretty much exclusively, at least that were involved in this game. Meanwhile, for Lakeridge, a lot of young people that will be returning. The quarterback, Charlie Maines, he'll be back for his senior year.
Look up and down that roster where it says 10s. Those are sophomores.
And there were a lot of those involved in this game. So I guess my point is Lakeridge might be a little disappointed with this result and their season overall, but I think there's a lot of promise. Before we get to Lincoln, there's a lot of promise on that side of Lakeridge.
I don't recall seeing a more bizarre game. This game looked like a defensive struggle at the end of the first quarter. No score by either team in the first quarter. In the second quarter, a touchdown for Lincoln, a field goal for Lakeridge. It was 7-3 at halftime, 10 points, and this game winds up with 86 points in the game. Lincoln outscored Lakeridge in the third quarter, 28-7. Lakeridge outscored Lincoln in the fourth quarter, 28-14. I mean, there's 42 points by Lincoln in the second half, 35 points by Lakeridge in a game that was 7-3 at halftime.
It really was a tale of two halves. We didn't get to call a lot of scoring plays in that first half, like you mentioned, but the second half was a completely different story as Lincoln comes away with the victory here at the home of the Lincoln Cardinals, Mike Walsh Field.
6 rushing touchdowns for Nick Osmo. 36 points all by himself in this game. There were times in the game where he looked virtually unstoppable. And, if I had to pick a player of the game, Nick Osmo's my guy.
You know, I'm trying to look up the scores around Oregon. It's gotten pretty chilly in here. The thumbs don't work like they're supposed to.
All right, just some stats for you. Nick Osmo, I have him with 245 yards rushing in the game. Ethan Stahl, I have with 117, most of that on a 45-yard touchdown run. Daniel Kovalev, I have with 70 yards rushing. That is between those three, Kovalev, Stahl, and Osmo. That is a total of 430 yards rushing, just those three.
All right, we have some scores here from around the league in the 2017 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship. Now, I'm reading these scores off of Oregon Live. Unfortunately, they do not have times attached to them. Some of these might be final scores. Some of these might be fourth quarter in the case of some of these close games. Once again, I apologize for not giving you exact updates. But nonetheless, Oregon City and Sunset, you know, our broadcast colleague Kurt Gilsdorf, who I worked on a game earlier this season, he does a lot of work with Oregon City. He, of course, is their girls basketball coach. And I'm sure he's at the game, if not working the game. Oregon City and Sunset, well, that's a close game. Oregon City 55, Sunset 51 currently. Once again, don't know one way or the other if it is a final score. But either way, a lot of points on the board in that game. Sheldon 48 over Beaverton, 48-7. Meanwhile, for Sprague, they have a 57-14 lead over Southridge. Barlow and Tigard up by a score, 42-35. And the pace of this game was fairly brisk. So I would assume that a lot of these games aren't quite final yet. We may have been one of the first to finish. Look at this score. Poor Franklin. Franklin, who made it to the playoffs despite not having a great PIL season. They lost tonight, and they were the 32 seed. Keep this in mind. Oh, I'm sorry, Jefferson was 32.
Right.
No disrespect to Franklin, but Franklin losing tonight to West Salem. I'm trying to spot this on my bracket here. Either way, it's 70-0, 7-0 to nothing. So Franklin, they were 29th ranked. West Salem, number 4. Clackamas, we know they're going to be a tough team. They're the number 2 ranked team, 53 over Willamette. Central Catholic, 63-6 over South Salem. That 53-0 was Clackamas over Willamette. And I'm trying to get to the Gresham South Medford score. Where is it?
Big win for the Rams tonight, the Central Catholic Rams.
Tualatin, 36-0 over Madison. So another PIL team getting shut out.
This may be the only victory in the PIL.
However, Grant. Grant, 47-6 over McMinnville.
Wow.
And here we go. South Medford. Well, Lincoln's going to have to travel. South Medford, 63-0 over Gresham. So they are going to have their work cut out for them a week from today against South Medford. Lincoln traveling down south to the southern part of Oregon. You know, they have an In-N-Out down there, so maybe these young men will eat pretty well. I
want to tell you, we saw it Wednesday night, and cars were lined up for blocks.
That's every In-N-Out across the country. All right, we're going to wrap this one up here at Mike Walsh Field, round 1 of the 2017 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Football State Championship. The final score, Lincoln 49, Lakeridge 38. But before we wrap things up officially, I do want to thank our great crew here at Oregon Sports Beat, my color commentator and broadcast partner throughout the season, Dave Hall, Ryan Johnson doing everything behind the scenes on the camera tonight, and our producer-engineer, Jim Thompson. Great job as always, saying so long from Lincoln High School.